Greetings, fellow TIs. Now, Stingray technology has been out for quite a while. It is utilized by police forces and government agencies and contractors to target people. This technology is used to track people to their cell phones and find their exact location. Stingray technology is utilized by the U.S. Secret Service, the U.S. Army, Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, the CIA, and other agencies. There are many people that have complained about gang stalking that are whistleblowers and have later been targeted through Health and Human Services. They have their own health surveillance programs, and they are also involved in community policing. The frightful thing concerning this gang stalking is that it's done in a very covert manner. Non-disclosure agreements are signed for those that have this technology. I've personally seen it used at a Citizens Corps facility, and it is used to covertly harass a person. So what these people will do is they will start monitoring where you go, what you like to do, and they can just use Stingray technology and discover your pattern. And you want to keep that pattern so that way you can catch these people. And what they will do is they will drop off sometimes 4 or 5 people or just 1 or 2 people, and once you exit a store, they may utilize NLP tactics that you recognize, and they're trying to sensitize you. They will also network with your teachers, and they will say you're dangerous, you're a bad person, you're this and that, and you will be treated differently in every school that you go to. You will have neighbors try to provoke and incite a problem. You may even have people try to assault you and give you a hard time. Your local city and state agencies, you'll notice they will refuse to help, especially government agencies. Remember, the government is not going to help you with this problem. The United States Army, Secret Service, DHS, FBI, and the CIA has not shown a pattern of helping targeted individuals. If that was the case, we would see hundreds of thousands of people making videos online saying, hey, our targeting has ended. Understand that if you're being targeted in a community and it's being done persistently, that it's impossible to go through this daily unless your law enforcement agencies not only approved of it but supported it along with your city and state officials. See, every state has a fusion center which is ran by your state governor, and they are round tables within these Department of Homeland Security councils which are tied to your state or fellow politicians. These people make decisions sometimes without the governor or lieutenant governor, and they have the ability through their stakeholders to not only find out who's doing this, but to stop it immediately. Now you're probably wondering, why wouldn't they stop it? Well, there's a reason why. A lot of these scumbags have been told something really bad about you that's perhaps not true. A huge portion of the people that are being targeted right now in America are actually women. Women make up a huge portion of the people that are complaining about this. Department of Justice knows there's been well over 1 million complaints. I think right now it's about 1.6 million complaints. Nothing has been done. So Department of Justice has to be hiding something. And why is it that Department of Justice has allowed the FBI to orchestrate acts of terrorism against the United States government by creating false flags and grooming terrorists without prosecuting none of these FBI agents? Why hasn't the Department of Justice prosecuted police that are abusing these programs? There's a reason why. It's supported by our government. Thank you for listening.
Whether you're here, here, or at one of these, it doesn't matter. This can find you. The common name, Stingray. Technically, a cell site simulator. First developed for military use, it's made its way into local law enforcement. It can track a person down to the room they're in if they have their cell phone on them. Stingrays turn these into homing devices. And that's just the beginning.
These are tracking devices. This is emitting a signal. This is GPS.
Mike Mino with the North Carolina branch of the ACLU has been watching the spread of stingrays for years.
It's my understanding that the software that a lot of these devices use is capable of capturing things like your text messages, the numbers you're calling and receiving calls from. We know for sure they're getting people's location.
Here's how it works. Cell phones are always trying to connect to nearby cell towers. A stingray acts like a cell tower decoy. In what's called a man-in-the-middle attack, it tricks cell phones into thinking it's the nearest cell tower, phones connect to the stingray, and police can access a range of personal information. But they don't just get intel on one phone. Every phone nearby is forced to divert to the stingray. Calls are passed on to a real cell tower. Data scooped up stays with police.
When you ask them why they're using it, they'll say, well, we're targeting certain individuals, but the nature of the technology is so expansive that you cannot use this without countless innocent people having their data captured as well.
The I-Team has learned at least 3 law enforcement agencies in the Triangle have been using cell site simulators, but they don't like to talk about it and may not be allowed to. These 2 purchase orders show Raleigh and Durham police bought variations of the Stingray within the last 10 years. Raleigh's purchase order, obtained by the I-Team 2 years ago, shows the department paid more than $120,000 for the device. Separate documents obtained by the ACLU show Durham spent nearly twice that. In spite of those purchase orders, both departments claimed not to be using one when the I-Team asked recently. Raleigh says they stopped using theirs because of outdated technology. With the Stingray, though, secrecy is part of the deal. Durham's contract with the device's manufacturer includes a strict non-disclosure clause, not just about the Stingray, but about the agreement itself and its subject matter.
There is such secrecy around this, and I think it's because it's so powerful.
I have a cell site simulator, and we do use it.
Wake Sheriff Donnie Harrison is the only current law enforcement officer we could find here or elsewhere willing to talk even a little about the device and how it's used.
It's a very useful tool that we use, not only for the bad guys, but for looking people that are lost, looking people that say they're going to commit suicide. Sometimes we have used them for children that's missing that have phones. And basically, that's all about all I'm going to say about it.
Harrison told us Wake County has had a cell site simulator since 2008. He insists they're always within the law and always get a warrant first. But there's very little public documentation of those warrants or of the use of stingrays in general here or in any of the cities in which we looked.
But no, we don't like to talk about it. You know, when a general goes in battle, he doesn't give out his battle plans.
It's the classic question. Safety or privacy? Law enforcement will tell you these things get bad guys off the street and help good people out in the meantime. Critics say we just don't know, and we don't, by design.
As long as we do it lawfully, I don't care what people say. My job is to keep people safe.
The public needs to know more. I think this is something that the courts need to know more about. There are real questions about whether a technology that soaks up innocent people's data can be used constitutionally.